Welcome to our first video dealing with the essential question of how did Europeans explore and establish settlements in the Americas. So let's take a minute and we're going to write that down. So how did Europeans settle and establish settlements in the Americas? Now, Marco Polo, he had written a book about his travels throughout Europe, and everyone that read the book was really intrigued about all of the discoveries, the different goods that he talked about. And so Christopher Columbus was one of the individuals that had read Marco Polo's book. And one of the things that he wanted to do was he wanted to see how can I get to Asia and get there quickly, because he did not want to go around Africa. Take a look at this map of Africa. This map shows how the Europeans actually, it would have been a lot of work for them to go east just by going east. So Columbus had the idea that we need to go west in order to get to east more quickly. So as you look at this map, you can see that, one, there are mountains that stand in the way of folks who would like to go east, and there are also, if they go by boat, they would have to sail all around the entire continent of Africa. As they travel around the southern tip of Africa, it is extremely dangerous because storms come out of nowhere. And so therefore, ships are sunk rather easily and voyages abandoned. So Columbus had this idea of, well, what if we go west? Because it should just land us right in Asia if we just keep going. They had no idea that there was a large landmass that stood in the middle between Europe and Asia. So let's talk about Christopher Columbus for a minute. Columbus was Italian, but sailed for Spain. Now, as I said, Columbus sailed for Spain. So the King and Queen of Spain, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Let's go ahead and write them down. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, they sponsored Columbus in the year 1492. It's easy to remember because in 1492, Columbus sailed the Ocean Blue. So Columbus is going to sail the Ocean Blue in 1492 with 3 ships, and he's going to land in the Caribbean. Even though Columbus sailed and landed in the Caribbean, he actually thought he had landed in the Indies. So he named the people that were already living in the Caribbean, he named them Indians, which is why we use that name today. Even though Columbus named the group of people Indians, they actually already had a name, and that was Taino. The Taino had never, ever seen a European before, and they actually welcomed him with open arms. So Columbus is going to return their generosity by taking their land and claiming it for Spain. He even goes so far as to name this new land San Salvador, which translates to Holy Savior. So, since Columbus had thought that he had found the East Indies, he knew that China has to be nearby. So Columbus is going to sail to different islands as well as down to South America, thinking that, by golly, he has found a new route to the East Indies and China as well.